I think we can all agree that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has peaked, and when you're at the summit, the only way left is down. And so far, Phase 4 has confirmed that theory with the releases of some of the MCU's most bland, boring, and just stupid movies. The only one I really enjoyed being Spider-Man No Way Home, which, coincidentally, Disney had the least control over. But does Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness show a glimpse of hope? Maybe. So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Do we get madness? Yeah. Do we get multiverse? Yeah. Do we get Doctor Strange? No.
What did he say?
Now we actually get a few of him, I was just joking.
Or was I?
So this is the sequel to 2016's Doctor Strange, but at this point the character's cropped up in so many other films. His presence in the MCU feels very solidified, and I think this film does a good job at acting as a sequel to not just his first movie, but also his appearances in other films, because he did play quite a big role in Infinity War and No Way Home. Benedict Cumberbatch returns to the role, continuing to be great as the character, and his arc throughout the film I quite enjoyed, going from always acting in a way that is for the greater good, no matter the personal or ethical negatives, to someone who balances this with the feelings and lives of individuals. There's also the idea of his character letting things go, which worked well as we know him to be somewhat of an obsessive character. We also have Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, and right off the bat they tell us she's the villain, which I like as there's no beating around the bush, instantly allowing us to understand the threat instead of trying to do like a mystery. This was also the natural evolution of her character, and WandaVision kind of pointed her on this trajectory, but whimpered out at the end and she ended up just saving the day. But honestly, I actually liked her motive of wanting the children back by getting them from an alternate universe. But if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, a lot of questions come up. Like, what about Vision, the main reason for her grief? Why didn't she just go to a universe where she's died and her kids are alone? But despite that, I did like seeing her as the villain, and her realisation in the finale wrapped up and created a great end for her character. Well, this main universe version. We also have a new character, America Chavez, which is a bit of a stupid name, who had potential but ends up feeling more like a MacGuffin than an actual person, acting more as character development for Doctor Strange without having much character herself, which is a bit of a shame. Also, the whole believing yourself trope to control your powers is overdone and just dumb at this point. But I did like how she beats Wanda with her brains, not brute force. Obviously, none of these issues are due to the actor. She does a fine job with what she's got to work with. They're sort of our main characters, but whilst we're on the topic, I'll mention the rest. We've got Wong back, he's always cool. I'm glad they've kept him as Sorcerer Supreme, because I do feel Doctor Strange got that title too quick. We also have Christine back, 2 versions this time, who acts as a great companion in more so the second part of the movie. Now onto the multiverse characters, what everyone was excited to see. We see an alternate version of Mordor, who is pretty much the original version, who we actually don't see in this. We have alternate Captain Marvel, where Rambo got the powers. We have Black Bolt with the same actor from the amazingly awful Inhumans TV show, but the actor was always great casting, so hopefully this brief appearance isn't the last time we see him. We get Captain Carter as well, who we saw in What If. This isn't the exact version we have seen, so seeing her live action was great, and again I hope we see her again. And a great surprise was Patrick Stewart reprising his role as Professor X, and it was really cool to see him be a part of the MCU. But I would say the biggest appearance was John Krasinski as Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic. It does make me laugh how the actor had no real say in the fact of playing the character. The internet kind of decided for him.
Đồ mày nói chuyện vô dân quá. Mày coi chừng mày chết với tao nha mày. Thằng Khai Vũ mày coi chừng cho mày.
But he is great in the role, and I am positive we will see him again, although it was dumb how he died. He just got like ripped apart. Like, why doesn't Scarlet Witch just do that to everyone? So that was pretty dumb. We also get quite a few versions of Strange himself, all feeling eerily similar but different. But let's all just take a moment to unfortunately acknowledge that Tom Cruise didn't appear as a douchey version of Iron Man. You never know though, I think we're going to get more multiverse stuff, so the idea might be realised in the future. Hopefully before Tom Cruise kills himself. Now the action in the film is great and really uses all its elements to differentiate the fight scenes. With the multiverse we get a multitude of different settings and also enemies, as we see monsters as well as alternate versions of characters. Also, magic is really used to full effect, but I do have a personal gripe with magic, is that in stories it is often devoid of rules, which just eliminates tension if characters can just do anything. This is one of the biggest problems in the Harry Potter series for me. But glad to report this film does a good job of magic being a tool that can be used for a variety of things but has limitations, and also dangerous, such as possessing the dead. So this combination of interesting locations and powers leads to some spectacular action sequences. What we see of the multiverse is great, getting to see all these different universes, but we only spend substantial time in a few. and I think it was a bit of a missed opportunity for the final battle to not be fought whilst going between universes. That could have been really interesting. With this film, you can see the horror elements with Sam Raimi coming on as director, and I also like how the film was a bit bloodier than your typical MCU releases. These together help the film stand out and feel more individual than the rest of Phase 4. I think this film did a good job with the multiverse of, characters not just coming in as like cameo. They felt like integral to the story, and I honestly think maybe we could have had more fun with the cameos of different actors reprising roles. Overall, this film was pretty enjoyable, and I could definitely see Doctor Strange becoming the new sort of lead of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like what Iron Man used to be. I also think this could open up an interesting direction for the MCU, delving into the multiverse rather than going the Young Avengers route, made up of discount versions of heroes. Because, let's be honest, that sucks. So with this film, it's a glimpse of hope amongst impending doom. And if you like numbers, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.